1949, the People's Republic of China has continuously engaged in claiming sovereignty over territories which are rich in resources, and are strategic. That is why it is no longer surprising that now it is also claiming sovereignty over the Scarborough Shoal. The negative side, ladies and gentlemen, maintains that the Scarborough Shoal should be declared to be part of the territory of the Philippines and not of China. This is based on two grounds of legal necessity. The first being that the Scarborough Shoal belongs to the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas. And secondly, because the Philippines has continuously exercised effective occupation over the Scarborough Shoal. As to our first argument, it is important to note that the Scarborough Shoal is not an island, it is a rock. This is consistent with the ruling of the International Court of Justice in the case of Russian Federation versus Australia. In such case, the court ruled that a rock is not determined by its geographical features, but by the fact that it cannot sustain human habitation or economic life. The Scarborough Shoal, consisting of only 5 rocks, 5 points of barren rocks emerging from the water, clearly cannot sustain human habitation or economic life on its own, and therefore it is a rock and not an island. Being a rock, therefore, under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, the Scarborough Shoal necessarily belongs, or sovereignty over it belongs to the state in which the rocks are located. That is the Philippines in this case. And therefore, the Scarborough Shoal belongs to the Philippines. It is found 124 nautical miles from Subic Bay, Zambales, while it is 550 nautical miles away from China's nearest port, which is Hainan Island. This being the case, under the UNCLOS, it is also provided that the state's exclusive economic zone cannot go beyond 200 nautical miles. Therefore, it is very clear that it is only the Philippines who can exercise exclusive sovereign rights over the Scarborough Shoal, unless, of course, China will now extend its exclusive economic zone arbitrarily and make it 600 to include the Scarborough Shoal. But as aptly pointed out by one author, what is the point of international law when it is no longer international and when it's no longer a law? As to our second argument, even if we do not consider the idea of or the concept of sovereign rights under EEZs, still sovereignty belongs to the Philippines because it has exercised effective occupation over the shoal. Contrary to what the other side was claiming earlier, it is not China who has effective occupation over the shoal, but the Philippines.
Mr. Speaker, you say that because of the law of the sea, the Philippines has sovereignty over a shoal rather than merely economic rights over exclusive economic zone.
I'm sorry, I meant to mean sovereign rights over the rocks. Yes, Your Honor. I meant to say sovereign rights.
What did you mean?
By sovereign rights, it means that the state has the power to exploit, to use, to excavate, and to utilize any resources, living or not living, within the waters of 200 nautical miles from the baseline of the state.
If the Scarborough Shoals were an island, would that mean that the Philippines would have no economic?
Yes, Your Honor.
Economic?
Because an island would have its own EEZ, Your Honor, and therefore another state, or it does not necessarily belong to the EEZ of the state to which it is encompassed. If I may continue, Your Honor, our second argument is that Philippines has effective occupation. In 1937, the Philippine Commonwealth government expressed its claim over the Scarborough Shoal. And in 1957, the Philippine government, together with the US Navy, conducted an oceanographic survey over the shoal. In 1963, the Philippine Navy bombed illegal structures built on the shore by Taiwanese smugglers. And during this time, China did not object to any of the acts of the Philippines, and China did not do anything to stop these smugglers. It was the Philippine Navy. In 1965, the Philippine Navy erected a Philippine flag, 8 meters high, a flagpole on the Scarborough Shoal. It also erected a lighthouse in the same year. And in fact, in 1992, the Philippine Navy registered this in the International Maritime Organization, contrary to the claim of the opposing side. And what is peculiar here is that in 1992, to complete my sentence, in 1992, China claimed that they owned it, but they never objected to it. Therefore, it is the Philippines who has effective occupation. Thank you.
Thank you.
The first speaker for the affirmative side will now have her interpellation.
Mr. Speaker, is it not that your basic claim for sovereignty over the Scarborough Shoals is based on the UNCLOS?
Yes, primarily.